Hello, everyone. This is our group presentation about the GBA trip to Huichao. Next, please. The outline of this presentation consists of four parts. Introduction, in which we will introduce our focus area. Background, so we will talk about this two-day trip's background. Key observations, as well as implications and reflections for this trip. So the last two parts will be the main dish of this presentation. Next one, please. So about us. So we are four full-time PGD English students from at UHK. We together engaged in this experiential learning in Huichao. We get a chance to immerse ourselves in its historical heritage and rich cultural landscape. Also, meanwhile, we experience its modern vibe and humanistic spirit. We're deeply moved by its history and culture, so that's the reason we chose history and culture to be our focus area. So we have Vicky, which is me, Lucy, Kayla, and Casey in this group. Next one, please. The background of the GBA trip. So why we visit GBA instead of other countries? It is because the school wants us to expose ourselves into the developments of China. Also, we have non-Chinese teachers in this class. It is very important for them to have some understandings about China. And why Huichao? Huichao is a place with rich cultural and historical heritage. So nowadays, it also advances in the technology development. Since this is an immersive learning, this trip is a good chance for us to appreciate Chinese Asian arts and history. And also, we can encounter new things. This is also a good chance for us to infer the things from the context and do some learning. Next page, please. This is a two-day trip. On day one, we went to the Huichao Museum to understand the history and culture. And then we had a seminar in the Huichao University to polish our teaching and learning skills. On day two, we went to Huichao West Lake to enjoy the city landscape and experience the cultural heritage of the Great Point, Sudongpo. And then we visited a trash processing factory. So since this topic is about history and culture, so we mainly present our observations and insights from Huichou Museum and West Lake. However, we do find some perspectives from the rest of the two activities. Next one, please. So our key observations include the Hakka history and culture. Hakka culture is the dominant culture in the Huichao. So even though it is a multicultural city, so Hakka culture is the most prominent one. So Hakka in Chinese means guest families. Because Hakka people, most of them migrated from central China in the Qing and the Ming dynasties. So their culture is different from other cultures in Guangdong province. So it includes loyalty, filial piety, and integrity. Also, the characteristics of its culture includes they used to live in the very defensive buildings to get them free from the attacks from other groups and enemies. And also their woman image are quite tough. Since their language is not intelligible with other languages, so they have the linguistic uniqueness. Their culture is different, so it represents different set of values. Next one, please. About its cultural traits, Square Wall Village is very significant one, which has very tall walls that can protect the people inside and prevent the enemies from outside. Also, the Asian city is very typical Lingnan architectural style, and it is used to be a military place or town. And also, women are super diligent. They work all the time and they don't complain. The lastly is a Hakka dish, which is a sour plum dish, which tastes so good, and we finish it as soon as it has been served. So this picture is not the original one. Okay, next one, please. Oh, I would also like to introduce Su Dongpo, a great point in the Song dynasty. He was exiled to the Huizhou during his late years. However, he interacted actively with local people and left a great literary heritage. The Lychee poem, everyone knows about that. It talks about the life in Lingnan. And also, Hakka people respect uh, education and scholarship a lot. So so that's why Su Dongpo's spirit resonate deeply with the Hakka culture. So aside from those literary heritage, there are also tangible cultural heritage, which includes Westlake and the Sioux Causeway. So now they both become the places of interest, very famous ones in Huichou. Okay, next I'm gonna invite my groupmate Lucy to introduce the rest of the part.
Hello, I am Lucy. So my part is mainly about consumerism culture of Huizhou and the great connection between Huizhou and Hong Kong. So firstly, here are two pictures where we observe the low spending in Huizhou City. And for the first picture, it's egg tarts. You only need to spend 5 yuan to buy 2 egg tarts. And the second picture is about a meal that we had. Look at how many dishes we had, but it's only 41 yuan for each person. Next page, please. So since we don't really have a chance to experience the house prices in Huizhou, I found some external resources. So here are two apartments. The first one is around only 1,000 yuan per month with such a big room, such a big living room and 3 bedrooms. And the next one is an oceanfront room with very beautiful view, but it's only 700 yuan per month. Imagine that if you're going to live in Hong Kong for the same apartments, rents in Hong Kong could be 10 times higher than Huizhou. Next page, please. And also, here are the photos shared by Casey. And for the delivery robots in the hotel that we've seen, it's quite convenient. For me, it's not very surprising, but for people who've never been to Chinese mainland, it might be their first time seeing these delivery robots. So it's quite convenient after you ordered something online, and then especially takeaway food, it will deliver the food to your room and then call you, and then you can pick up your food safely. It's very high tech. So the next picture is our hotel room, and it's quite big and cozy and decorated by traditional Chinese furnitures. So it looks very expensive, but it cost only 300 something. Next page, please. One thing I have to mention is about e-payments in Huizhou. So in Hong Kong, sometimes you'll still have to bring cash to buy stuff, but in Huizhou, there's definitely no need because Alipay and WeChat Pays are like everywhere. And the most important thing is to bring your phones, because without phones, it's very hard for you to navigate the city. And sometimes you can even pay by your palm or your face. Very high tech. Next page, please. So definitely there is great connection between lower spending and happiness because financial constraints reduce consumers' sense of happiness. So imagine if I live in Huizhou, there's definitely less financial stress and probably it provides me with better living standard. Next, please. And also there's such great connection between Huizhou and Hong Kong. When visiting the city, I realized that Huizhou is very friendly to people from Hong Kong because a lot of times in the shops or pharmacies, they're very friendly to us and they even say, wow, your Chinese Mandarin is so good. And also while visiting our hotels, it shows a scrolling screen which says we warmly welcome students from EDUHK to come to Huizhou for the GBA visit. So they're warmly welcoming us, and it made me want to know why they are so friendly to people from Hong Kong. Next page, please. Probably the most important reason is that the location is adjacent to Shenzhen and Hong Kong. So if you take a shuttle bus there, it only takes 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you take a high-speed train, it's probably faster, only 30 minutes. And according to the reports, there are more than 1 million people of Huizhou ancestry living in Hong Kong. And also there is cross-border cultural connection and also much business cooperation between Huizhou and Hong Kong. Next page, please. And also here are some organizations, non-governmental organizations I found. This one is Hong Kong Huizhou Youth Exchange Promotion Association. It better fosters the academic exchange and also promotes a better understanding of Chinese mainland among Hong Kong citizens. But it's a pity that we didn't really have a chance to experience that in detail during our visit. Next page, please. So the next one is called Huizhou FTU Consulting Service Center. This FTU Consulting Service Center is very popular in Hong Kong, but it also exists in Huizhou, and it provides services for Hong Kong residents living in Huizhou. Next page, please. Here we have a simple reflection of part 3. So Huizhou is a cozy and slow-paced city. And for me, the most surprising thing is how much effort they paid for cultural development and also the cultural and tourism integration. I also found that there is such a great connection between Huizhou and Hong Kong during the visit. So all in all, it's a great place for a decent standard of living and also cultural experience, promotion, and GBA visit. Then I'll invite Kayla for the next part.
Thanks, Lucy, for sharing your observations and insights on Huizhou. I also agree that we have a good immersive experience about local culture and lifestyle. Here, I would like to drag your attention on what personal and professional lessons do we learn from this GBA trip. Next, please. Firstly, this 2-day Huizhou trip has really enriched our knowledge about this GBA city, learning that even a small city can also be so in line with the development of technology, while having the local culture dynamically alive. From the bottom of our hearts, we feel so proud of China and we being Chinese. Specifically, here, as you can see on the first picture, there is a professional who was enthusiastically introducing the technological process of burning trash, when knowing that all of the domestic waste could be incinerated to only 3% left with no any wastewater or air releasing outside. We were so amazed and deeply impressed. And for the second and third picture, it shows us where we were strolling around the West Lake. We could also had a chance to read beautiful poems accompanied with traditional music. This whole sensory experience let us fully enjoy the beauty of Chinese culture. As a whole, we build up stronger sense of belonging toward China and have enhanced our national identity. Next, please. In light of this, when it comes to teaching English, we can also try to include national and cultural elements into the learning process. For example, when the topic we are going to teach is the theme of it is technology, we can incorporate those advanced technologies from China, using facts and numbers to impress students and improve their national identity. And we can also organize Chinese poetry appreciation when teaching literary devices. As you can see, this is a poem which is really famous in China. Next page, please. Apart from being influenced by the local culture, we were also grateful to this experience since we spent some precious time with our non-ethnic Chinese classmates. We shared Chinese food and unique experience that we gone through in China, feeling closer to each other. Besides, local people's positive attitude toward Chinese ethnic diversity also impressed our Hong Kongers. During lunch and dinner, we had a chance to chat with local people. They showed kindness and curiosity, whether you are from Tibet, Xinjiang, or Hong Kong, making our Nepali Chinese feel more attached to China. Even this photo was also taken by one of the Chinese who proactively offered help to us. According to our non-Chinese speaking classmates, they didn't need to learn Chinese history at all in secondary schools back then. And even more severe, they had no need to learn Chinese, not even mention Cantonese, which undoubtedly widened the cultural gap between people with different ethnicities. This, from another perspective, verifies the significance of GBA trips, enabling our Hong Kongers and non-ethnic Chinese to have a more comprehensive understanding of China culture and people, establishing a stronger sense of national identity. And I believe that this can never be realized through reading books or watching videos, right? However, there are some aspects that need attention and improvement to make the GBA trip more considerate of the needs of non-Chinese speaking students. Now I hand the stage to Casey to talk about this issue.
Thank you so much, Kayla, for shedding a light about the importance of GBA trip for overall Hong Kong public school students, and which includes a big demographic of ethnic minority and non-Chinese speaking students. So yes, I think strengthening the NCS's national identity is core to the success of a GBA trip. So here are some of my inputs on ways that we can improve the GBA trip. First of all, I think that there might have been a lack of interaction with local culture. So what do I mean by this? I think it's very important for a lot of the Hong Kong students, especially non-Chinese students, to intermingle with the local culture so they have a better understanding of how the way of life is in mainland China. So my recommendation would be an inclusion of experiential workshops. For example, here I have a picture of one of the Miss Worlds doing a Hui style carving activity at the Hui style carving museum. So this way, although this Miss World cannot speak the local language, she's able to understand and immerse herself into the culture and appreciate the traditional culture of carving. And another great thing that I'd like to talk about is the language barrier faced by quite a demographic of Hong Kong students. There might be some Cantonese speaking students who have never learned Mandarin. And of course, the ethnic minorities in Hong Kong do not speak the language themselves. So I believe that having translated audio in national museums will greatly create access to deepen understanding of Chinese culture, not just for the international visitors that they might attract, but also for students who would like to learn more about China but do not speak the Putonghua language. And I believe that this is a very important step as Hong Kong is multilingual and multicultural. Speaking of Hong Kong being multicultural, I believe that having a survey on food restrictions would be very helpful in streamlining the GBA cultural experience. For example, having a halal option for some non-Chinese students or some vegetarian options would greatly impact their immersion to the Chinese culture. From my experience, from what I've witnessed at our GBA trip, I did see that some of the Muslim students or the or Hindu students had to go to fast food shops such as KFC and McDonald's so that they can have food that they that is limited by their dietary restrictions. So I believe that having identified the halal options for NCS students in advance can help them understand the culture even more through food. Such as, let's have a snack tour about Tang Hulu, which is also like a very popular mainland snack, and it's vegetarian. Or we can have some vegetarian options in a Dai Pai Dong, so for them to experience the culinary art and culture of mainland China. So, overall, we'd like to say that the main point of the GBA visit is to help strengthen the national identity. And we do need to remember that national identity also belongs to those of the ethnic minority demographic in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is multicultural, multilingual, and also and has a variety of people. So we need to be able to cater to all demographic of Hong Kong students. And I believe that the GBA trip is a great way to strengthen the national identity for not just the local Chinese in Hong Kong, but also the local ethnic minorities in Hong Kong. And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you guys so much.